Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I'm up today with Let's Make a Card and KSCRAFT. So yesterday was Snap Click Supply, and I call it their Dollar Wednesday. I think they call it $1 Wednesday, but you know, I don't want to get myself all confused. So I went on there and I purchased about 10 new packs, which is brilliant because you know that's 10 packs for $10. And I'm going to use some from one of the packs that I got today, which is Cosmo Cricket Garden Variety. And there were two sets. There was a paper pack and there was elements. So that's what I want to use. And because it's KSCRAFT, I want to use the little Easter basket that I haven't used yet. So that comes with a little lace trim and a bow. It comes with some grass, and you also get a little egg to pop in there. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use Surprise Creation. Now, their slimline dies come as double sets, whether you get the full slimline or the mini. This is the mini set, and I'm going to use this one again because I kind of like the shape. So I'm going to use the basket, and I'm going to use my kind of torn edge mini slimline, and then my paper pack. This is what I've printed off. I want to use that element, which is the chick goes cluck, because it's a basket and egg. So I want to use that, and I think I'm going to cut my basket using that one because it's kind of a lovely chocolate brown basket weave. And I've also cut a little dot, which I'm not sure where I'm going to use that element yet, but I do love this one, and I think that would just make a really nice background. So that might be my major background. And then there's also this lovely vintage, because that's why I love Cosmo Cricket, and I love Snap Click Supply, because you can just hop off down memory lane while you're looking at the paper. And that is orange, but those chicks, if I turn them out of the light, you can see they're a sort of vintage dingy yellow. And I don't know if I'm going to use that yet, but I wanted to show you this one because you've got kissy hearts of carrots. So, you know, if you're stamping an image and you put it on there and you've die cut it out against that great carrot background, I just think that's absolutely wonderful. So anyway, I'm going to run off. I'm going to do some die cutting, and then let's see where we're going to put all those bits. Okay, so I went away and, excuse my throat, did some die cutting. Excuse the cut on my finger too. And I had to cut that apart to get all the bits off it so that I could die cut those in separate colours. Now, from the paper pack that I printed, I chose this as my base layer. So that is going to be the base of my card. And you can see I use these dies, and then I just cut a slightly larger sheet in just plain white cardstock to make it pop from behind. So that is going to be the base of the card. I'm going to put it where you can see it. And then I cut the basket, and I wanted to use that chocolate weave again, which is here. And I cut the frame. That's supposed to be a shaker frame, but I've decided I just want to outline my basket with it. And I also cut the lace in white, which goes along there. So they are going to sit on top of there. Obviously they need gluing together. And I've also, from a scrap that I found on my table, I cut two pieces of grass because I want to make one a little bit higher than the other so that I can tuck my eggs in, and the grass will go to that section there. And then I found another scrap of yellow, and I cut my bow and I cut the centre in the exact same colour. I don't know if you can see that there. It's just a little circle, and I don't know where I'm going to put my bow yet. It might go there, might go on the handle. And I also cut 5 eggs using that tiny dot paper because I really liked that. And then I trimmed down my little piece of printed ephemera, and I left the white border, and I want to sort of like stick that up there somewhere and then lay the basket over it. So now we have to do some gluing. And I do know that my glue bottle's here somewhere. Here it is. And it needs filling up. Constantly needs filling up, my glue bottle. So first thing that I'm going to do is glue the white edge onto my basket. Now I can pretty much see how thin this is, so I'm just going to go straight to the basket and just lay down some glue just right on the edge of it as I go around. I'm working on my glass mat today, so I'll clean my mess up afterwards. So I'm just going all the way around the edge there, and I can see the shape of the white die cut, so I'm just going to go in along here as well. So that's what I've done. I've dotted my bit of glue all the way around, and now I'm going to pick up my white stitched bit, and I may have to pick it up in a second just to make sure that I'm getting it on straight. I think I did it. Yeah, I think that's straight. And just press it down. Right, so now I've got a nice white trim going around the edge of my basket. Now, reaching across the table, a little bit of kitchen paper, because it's not quite the same as working on a silicone mat. Stuff can stick to this if you put glue down, whereas on my silicone mat it just lifts off. But I've taken that out and washed it and left it out there to dry, so I'll just use my glass mat today. So I've got that down, and I think I'm going to put my first piece of grass on at the front first. That way I can hide it behind my piece of lace, if you know what I mean. And then the bit at the back, hopefully I'm going to be able to get that in higher. So my grass first. Oops. And I'm just going to go just slightly beneath the white borderline, and I'm going to pop it on there. You'll see I'm not using my pickup tool today. That's because these pieces really, they're quite large. They're quite handleable, if that's a word. It's always great to create the language first thing in the morning, something new. Right, and then along the edge of that, I'm now on the stitch line of the grass going to add a bead of glue, go off along there, and I'm going to put my little lacy trim there. Now obviously I want that to be straight, and I think that it is. Just going to hold it there, press it down, and then in a second I'm going to flip that basket over so that I can get my second piece of grass behind, and I want it to be higher. So, you know, I did trim my fingernails off. I've been doing ever such a lot of gardening, and so, you know, my hands are all scratched up from roses, and I know I'm supposed to wear gardening gloves, but, you know, sometimes you just want to kind of feel stuff with your fingers. Now I can see that I've got a slight amount there, which is going to be hidden anyway by the eggs that I'm going to put in, so having a little gap isn't really a worry. So I'm just going to position that there. I think I want it slightly overlapping so I can see. And then I'm just going to pick it up and finagle it. So let's just have a look at that. I don't know how high I can go, which is why it's a good thing to flip it over. There. So now I've got a couple of layers of grass, and it just looks like it's got a lot more depth. And I'm going to be able to tuck my little eggs into there. So you can see where I'm going with this. I've cut an odd number of eggs because I always think that's a good idea. And you can have your eggs going in whatever direction you choose. Now, I know what you're saying. I can hear you. You haven't glued them down. Yeah, I know. There's a reason for that. Don't know how low I can go there. There we go. So I've got 5 little eggs in my basket. I want that one going there. But I'm going to flip that over. And they are going to be held in place now using Dollar Tree foam pads. So because I'm having it dimensional, don't have to use any glue. But at the same time, you don't want to see any of your pad hanging out. So just go along there and fix it. And then we can pop one here, one there, one there, because you never really want your embellishments to get squished and squashed, and one there. So now we have a finished basket, and I am going to pick that up so you can have a look at it. And then right at the end, I think it's really sweet, so quick to do. Right at the end, I'm going to decide where I'm going to have my bow. I haven't decided on the bow yet, which is here. And I've got the centre. So I am having my card vertical. Pick that up. And I know that I want my basket there. Let me start moving stuff around on my desk. There we go. Pop that in the centre. I know that I kind of like, you know, there. And then I've got my little ephemera piece, and I don't know whether I want to put that sort of like straight there, which I actually think looks quite sweet, or whether I want it at a jaunty ankle. And I think I'm just going to go with it straight. Right, so I'm just going to grab some glue and I'll be right back. Right, so I've glued my chick down and I glued the little centre into the bow there. And now all of those pads that I put on, I'm going to peel them off and stick them down. So here goes. I had a terrible accident in the garden yesterday. I was all cut and bumped and bruised up. It was cutting a nice tidy edge along the drive. You know how grass grows out along your concrete and it kind of overlaps, and I don't like that. So I'm going along with the spades, and then it starts raining. And yeah, I'm doing all this in my flip-flops, can you believe? And I actually slipped in the mud. Oh my goodness me. I am seriously bruised up, so my husband's not very happy with me at the moment. But I'm going to have that there, and I'm pretty sure, I am standing up at the moment, that I'm going to have my little bow just there on the handle. I really do like that. And that will finish it, so let's get that little bow on there. Just put a little blob of glue there. And position it. There we go. So it's still within the confines of the card, so it's not going to get knocked off or crushed. Whoops. Right, I'm just going to pause and tidy up my junk a minute. Right, so I put a piece of paper down and tied it up to stop the glare. So today, surprise creation, mini slimlines. I use KSCRAFT Easter basket, which is so cute and so easy. The Snap Click Supply Cosmo Cricket garden variety, and there is the completed card. So we can have a little close up. Just super easy to pop those elements in and just make something really quick. Just love that little vintage chickie image. And, you know, kind of probably slightly different colours to Easter, but not if you think about it, because you've got your chocolate and you've got your lemons, you've got maybe a little bit brighter than pastel, but, you know, I just love that. Right, I hope you enjoyed that card today. I haven't got a clue what I'm up with tomorrow, so you just have to come back because it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. I might go mad and go digging for stuff that I haven't used yet. I thank you so much for watching. As usual, have an absolutely awesome day. All links below. Bye.